Yes. Welcome back to another stream. It's the big one. It's the preview for Man City versus Real, the Real Deal, Real Madrid. The one we've all been, well, I'll say waiting for. The one we've all been nervous for, because that's definitely how I feel.
Right, this is the one, man. This is the one. This is. I was thinking about it. Is this bigger? Because if we get to the final of the Champions League, like it's obviously a bigger game in terms of the final, but you're playing against a team that you really should beat. Is this bigger almost than the final preview? Should we get there or not?
This is a bigger game. The final would be a bigger occasion, if you ask me, because Real Madrid are going to be harder than either of the Milan teams.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
That's a good way to say it. Yeah.
Guys, massive preview now. Real Madrid tomorrow night. You know what it is. Champions League semi-final. Currently 1-1. No away goals, so it is what it is. It's just a straight shootout. So it's gonna be a crazy one. Me and Hugh did a video before, by the way. It was a pretty good video. Would you prefer to win against United or win against Real Madrid? So if you've not watched that, go check that out as well. I've got a combined 11 coming out tomorrow. Me and Saeed, Real Madrid. Obviously, Real Madrid's #1 fan right now, innit? So I thought, who better to get on the stream than him? That means that you're doing a combined 11. So go check that out tomorrow when it's up. But today, Real Madrid preview. We've done the press conference stream this morning. First of all, nerve levels, everyone. What we are out of 10? Where are people at?
Like a 7.5.
I'm definitely in the 8s right now. Low 8s.
Yeah, you know me, innit? I'm still pretty low, man. I'm still like a 5. Like a 5, man. This morning I was nervous because I watched a couple videos, couple streams about like the game and that set me off a little bit. But then as we've gone through the day, started to calm down a little bit. So yeah, I'm probably at a 5, man. But yeah, I see people in the chat ranging. I seen a 4 from Des up to an 8 there from MJG window cleaning. A wee is a solid 4. Zob is 5, mate. So it's pretty mad. It's pretty mid. Right, let's get into it then. I mean, where to start, really? I mean, first of all, let's just talk about the game, of course. Like, Real Madrid, rumours coming out that they're going to change their formation and completely change up their tactical play. And I understand why they want to do that. So the rumours that have come out from Marca is that they want to be playing Vinicius Jr. close to Karim Benzema. Basically, like we do with Kevin De Bruyne and Haaland. And I think, for me, the main reason Carlo Ancelotti wants to do that is because that will limit John Stones' ability to get into the midfield. And actually felt that was one of the main problems we had against Real Madrid. If we struggled to get John Stones to push into midfield, because what effectively happens then is you lose an attacker when that doesn't happen. If John Stones can step into the midfield, you've got Rodri and John Stones, and then you've got Gundogan and Kevin De Bruyne further forward. If John Stones can't step into the midfield, Gundogan has to drop a little bit deeper, and then you've only really got Kevin De Bruyne as that main outlet. And that's I think that's one of the reasons why we struggled in the first leg to really get Kevin De Bruyne into the game, because he was kind of being isolated and man-marked. So how do we feel about that, in the sense that what can City do to overcome Real Madrid pressing City with 2 players, with Vinicius Junior and Benzema, and stopping John Stones going into midfield? How can City get over that and get the ball forward?
That's the question to ask Pep. Ain't no question for me, that. Okay.
If I knew the answer to that, I would not be here right now.
Yeah, if I knew the answer to that, bro, I'd be managing football teams.
Let me get my tactics board here and explain the whole thing.
Yeah,
I got you.
Here's what I prepared earlier. I thought you'd ask me this.
I do want to say that I understand what you're saying, but there's also a more City side of it to me that believes they're trying to switch it up because they feel Vinicius wasn't getting the same change out of Kyle Walker that maybe they anticipated. So they're trying to put him into a more central position and play more of the link up in there. Whereas their approach the whole time, anybody they play against, is Vinicius is going to burn the right full back whoever they're playing against, anywhere in Europe. But they didn't get that same joy, even though he scored last week against Kyle Walker. So I wonder, is Ancelotti saying, right, let's sacrifice maybe that outlet where we attack the opposition's right-hand side on the basis that you have effectively 2 center forwards?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, pushing one up close to the other one, I think it will help them out. Like Lewis said before, like in midfield and that. Obviously, we push Stones in there, and that will eliminate that a little bit. But I think if we're controlling the game, I think we could see Stones pushing anyway. But we have to be in control of the game for that to happen. I genuinely don't know how they're gonna run it. That's like a wait and see moment for me. Like I have no idea how we're gonna set up either. Like obviously he has said that he has like little changes that he does want to do that's gonna help us going forward. Now we don't know how that's gonna work out, but honestly, I have no idea how we combat this. My thing is just play our own game, innit? Like play the way we don't change and adapt to the way that Real Madrid are doing it, because then you're overthinking it. Play our game and the way that we've been playing, and I back us to win.
I just find it's a bad sign from Real Madrid's side of things if they're changing up their tactics for this game, because the way they played last week is the way they play against absolutely everybody. They clearly felt very unhappy with how the game went last week, to the point where Ancelotti, who backs his own tactics regardless, is willing to switch it up this drastically, take Vinicius off that really wide area of the pitch and move him slightly more central, and sacrifice potentially Rodrigo, who's a massive outlet on the other side of the pitch. It suggests to me they're really, really unhappy with how things went in the Bernabeu last week. Now, we always talk about our manager potentially overthinking things. Is this Ancelotti overthinking? Is this Ancelotti changing something up when he probably doesn't need to, and just go the same way they always have, the same thing they always do, and just have a hit out?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I hear what you're saying on that. That Real Madrid maybe shouldn't be changing, but this is Carlo Ancelotti we're talking about, man. You know what I mean? He's one of the greatest managers of all time. Like, so I think that if he's going to change the tactics up, which it might not do. Obviously, this is only rumours. This is only speculation. If he doesn't change, if he does change the tactics, I would imagine that he's going to deal with it. Like Sam McCoy with the member chat says, if they go 4-4-2, then we can dominate and overrun the midfield. We may need to play quicker balls behind them though to make them have to defend deeper. That's obviously something that they do. If they do change their style and go from a 4-3-3 to a 4-4-2, then obviously it's 2 in midfield opposed to 3. You do lose that extra man, but then you stop John Stones from pressing in. You can maybe bring Gundogan back. So it's going to be a mad tactical battle, and yeah, it's going to be interesting, especially with that news coming out last week, pretty much like the day or two after. Marca coming out saying that he's already decided his team and it's going to be 4-4-2. It's very interesting. Big up Dev, man, with a 3 month says, you guys should definitely invest in a tactics, but I've already got one, bro. I've actually got one. I'm going to start doing videos with it. I can't put it on screen on this one because I don't have the facilities to do that, innit? But we do have a tactics board. So yeah, stay tuned, man. I might do it for tomorrow, man. Big up Benno with a 2 says, possibly going to be the longest 90 minutes of the season.
I agree. Well, it could be 120 minutes. And even
very
more
true.
after that.
Yeah. Yeah, very true.
I hope they've not gone for a shootout because I can't deal with a shootout, to be honest.
I know.
I don't want no blockbusters, man. We don't need any blockbusters tomorrow. Just, 1-0 or 2-1 the thing and leave, man. Let them go back to Spain. I don't need no 6-5s or 5-4s or anything like that.
Yeah, right, bro.
Champions League heritage.
I'll take that 1-0 and run with it.
Yeah, man.
That's it, innit? Just get the winning dip. But yeah, that's for me going to be really interesting. Is how do Real Madrid set up? I think obviously we'll go through our starting 11 in a minute, but I think we all pretty much know what our starting 11 will be, bar maybe one position. I think other than that, it's pretty much solid. It's really a case of what are Real Madrid going to do and how are they going to, because I didn't think City played particularly well at the Bernabeu. I've said this morning. I thought all our attacking players were poor. Even Kevin De Bruyne, other than the goal, did very little. Haaland didn't get involved. Bernardo was poor. Grealish was poor. Gundogan was poor. I thought we were poor going forward. So the big question mark for me is how does Pep Guardiola get them players playing a sort of better style in terms of attacking sense? Because they didn't really attack very well. On the flip side, Real Madrid, I thought, played quite well, and we managed to defend against them quite well. They had very few opportunities. I think they had the Diaz clearance, they had the goal, which was, of course, shot from outside the box. That can happen. So it was very tight. I felt Real Madrid were the better team in the first legs, and that's why I think they were so disappointed at the end of the game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it kind of is that a positive? In a sense, though, like they were the better team and still didn't really create that much.
I think it's a positive.
Like I think we have levels to go, man. We know from what we've seen from this football team that we weren't at our best there, and we have levels to go, and hopefully we can produce that tomorrow. And if we do, they might not be able to handle us. Then I think we do need to be creating more chances. I do think we need to speed it up, but I think again it'll be a different game because Pep was happy with going away with that as no. This is like do or die now. This is like, do you know what I mean? The result 100% matters now. Like obviously we need to win the game. So I do expect the game to be played out a little bit, a lot different from the first leg, and hopefully that tells more attacking and them a bit more space for us, which obviously you sacrifice a bit more space for them. But I think we'll have space to run into, and hopefully we can create chances for Erling Haaland because he didn't really get a look in the first leg.
I just think we weren't arsed about being the better team in the first leg, and I think I think Pep's approach is more so you're considering the whole tie, that it's a two-legged fixture rather than at that time being solely focused on we must go to the Bernabeu and play them off the pitch. I think that's what we've realized has been the approach throughout this whole competition. We're no longer arsed about blowing teams out of the water in both legs just to make a statement and show that we can batter teams and score 5-6 goals against X and Y defenses. It's now we have a tie to win of 2 games. Where are we playing first? Where are we playing second? This is what we'll do if we're playing away first. This is what we'll do if we're playing away second. And that's what it's a simple case of for me. I think we've seen enough of that against Bayern Munich and Leipzig too. How do you draw 1 each out in Leipzig, then batter them 7-0 at home? Each leg is different.
That's true. It's true.
Yeah. No, I agree. And that's exactly how it keeps going back to the comments that Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne made, man. That them comments prove to me that this team has learned that, as you say, bro, They don't need to go to teams and blow them away anymore. The most important thing is winning football matches. Real Madrid were better than Manchester City last year in the Champions League semi-final. We were a better team in both legs. The difference is that at vital moments, we crumbled and they didn't, and they stuck in the game. They came to the Etihad, and despite us absolutely playing them off the park, left with a 1-goal deficit. I mean, when we went to the Bernabeu, I thought we played better than them at the Bernabeu. Yet they scored. They win by a 2-goal advantage. Hence, they went through to the final. It's not about always in this. And this is why this competition is so interesting. Is because the best team doesn't always win the competition. The best team always wins the Premier. You don't go 38 games and not win the Premier League if you're the best team. The best team will always win the Premier League in any league for that matter, not just the Premier League. But in a competition like this, in the Champions League, the best team doesn't always win it. So it's about getting through. And I think so far this tournament this year, we have shown that we are learning, and we're not playing teams off the park. But when we need to do our thing, when we need to play our game, we're doing it and we're doing it well. So that's the main thing for me. Big up Ivwy with a 2. It says, yes, lads. Big 3-2 win tomorrow. The treble is on. And my name is pronounced Ivewe. Yes, Ivewe. Thanks for the 2 months, bro. T-Man with a 7 says, do you think a Bernardo in midfield for Gundo and Mahrez at right wing is out of the cards? I don't think it's out of the cards, but it's certainly not what I'd be doing.
I'd be playing Gundo 100%.
I don't think Mahrez starts tomorrow or Bernardo starts tomorrow at all.
Penguinese with a 2 says, Gold badge completed. Yes, Penguinese.
Yes, Penguinese, mate. Long time, man.
9 Men with a 3 says, we were playing safe, no risk. That's why we are average offensively. I don't know about that. I think we were poor in our attack, but we're also, you are right in saying that we didn't take many risks. We didn't, but I do think we were still poor going forward. Big Steve's Hair with a 2 says, ditching my GCSE history revision for City tomorrow. That's it, bro. Because tomorrow, bro, we will make history in it. You know what I mean? And then you can study that. I mean, so you can tell your history GCSE teacher when they say, why not be studying? Say, I just studied history, mate.
Yeah.
At the Etihad Stadium. Let's get into the starting 11 then. And
that's some brilliant advice, Abby. That's some fantastic advice.
Yeah, I mean, why you need to learn history, man? It's shit's in the past, isn't it? I mean,
why? Just disrespect all of history, innit? None of it matters. It's already happened, isn't it? Like,
it's not as important as other shit, man. There's other shit that's probably more important than that.
bro. This is uncancelable.
How is it cancelable?
You can't just delete history, innit?
I'm not deleting it. I'm just saying there's better things to learn about than history, innit? You know what I mean?
Stop.
Yeah. No, I didn't like history in school. I don't like history, innit?
I like history. I buzz off history, but I'm just saying in terms of GCSE, you know what I mean? Like when you want to get a job and that, well, what's more important? Like maths, English, being able to speak the language, or history, innit? You know what I mean? Like, probably English, maths, science is probably very important these days.
That'll come.
Being able to use a computer is very important. You know what I mean? I like history. I rate history. You know what I mean? I'm always on the documentaries. You know that, innit? But like in terms of the pecking order, I mean, there's only one winner.
We need to put up a tweet of like a really majestic background and LB in front of it, and then the quote being like, "History is in the past, isn't it?"
yeah, like the Gandhi quotes. Yeah, history is in the past, isn't it? LB 2023.
Anyway, all that conversation in the past. We can move on. Let's go to the starting 11. Okay, so
Ederson.
Like I said, I think this is gonna be really easy. Yeah, Ederson in goal.
It's gonna be Diaz. It's gonna be. Are we going? Well, obviously, Kyle Walker's gonna play 100%. Are we going with the back 3 or back 4?
Nah, back 4.
Back 4
with Stones in there. Yeah.
We don't have the facilities, man.
Oh, so Stones and Diaz in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then left back is a Kanji in it, which is easy
and just
enough.
just to remind people again that honestly for me, even if Ake was fit, I'd still play Akanji. I think he deserves it.
I agree.
My opinion. Midfield, Rodri, KDB, and then a bit of a couple of people asking questions about whether Bernardo Silva comes in for this game. Not for me. Gundogan starts every single day of the week, and get him in there.
I mean, look how good he's been playing recently, man. I think it'd be a crime to not put Gundogan in.
Yeah,
man, he's in hot form. And he's so hungry. He's so hungry to lead this team to these trophies, man. I need his enthusiasm out there.
Grealish left wing, obviously. Haaland up top.
Haaland up top.
And this is the big one. Now, I'm going to do a poll on this one.
Yeah, this is the debatable one, I think.
I've seen a lot of people on Twitter going back and forth on this one. People saying, "Oh, we need Bernardo's energy and his ability to backtrack." There's people saying they want Foden to come in for his unpredictability. People saying they want Mahrez because of his Champions League experience with the big goals and how threatening he is going forward. I think if you want to impose yourself the most going forward, you probably go with Riyad Mahrez. I think if you do want to go for that more defensive thing, you probably go with Bernardo Silva, and then Foden's probably somewhere in the middle. So kind of where do we lie with this one?
I said all week. I actually thought he made the wrong decision against Real Madrid in the first. Like I remember doing the stream on the day saying, "Don't know me. I think I'd go, but we had Mahrez for the Bernabeu game," and I think it was proved right that maybe Bernardo wasn't the correct decision. For me, I go Riyad Mahrez in this game. I think he should have done that in the first leg, and I think he'll do it now. I think Bernardo Silva gets dropped tomorrow.
I think it should be Riyad Mahrez. I know Bernardo was rested at the weekend, which does kind of stink of Bernardo playing. But personally, I'd be playing Riyad Mahrez as well.
Yeah, this morning I was, as you know, I was leaning towards Phil Foden. But I thought about it. I think if you really, really want to impose yourself attacking wise and give them properly something to worry about, you can sacrifice that extra defensive work rate on the right hand side from Mahrez and just tell him, you go ham and attack, you create, you give whoever their fullback is, whether it's Camavinga or Nacho, give him serious problems. Because you have to remember, if our winger in that on the right is giving them enough problems that side of the pitch, the fullback won't go forward. He'll be afraid to go forward and leave Mahrez behind him to do his thing going forward. So it kind of works both ways, but I think I'm leaning towards Riyad Mahrez, yeah.
Any shout for Alvarez? Seen a few people mention him.
Not at all.
No. I don't think he'll see the pitch tomorrow.
No.
Yeah, I think for me it's between Mahrez and Foden. I wouldn't be playing Bernardo at this game. So for me it's between Mahrez and Foden. And it is a difficult one, it really is. But for me, I just think we have Mahrez. He's more match sharp. He's more match fit than Phil Foden. And in a game like this, you really need sharpness. Sharpness is key. And that's why I go Riyad Mahrez. And you know, I think that's what he did. See, K-Max says Bernardo did what he was asked in the first leg. But he might have done. I'm not saying you're wrong. But going forward again, he just offered us nothing, man. He just offered us nothing going forward. And in this game, we're at home in front of the Etihad. You know, for me, my own opinion, you know what I mean? I'm not saying you're wrong, by the way. My opinion is that we need to be, when we get in the ball, we need to be more with it. And I think Riyad Mahrez can do more with it. I think he works well with Kevin De Bruyne on that right-hand side. So for me personally, regardless of what happened in the first leg, I'd still be going for Riyad Mahrez in this game. Because I picked Riyad Mahrez in the first leg. I wanted Riyad Mahrez in the first leg. It went for Bernardo Silva. So for me, it's just because me personally, I'm going Riyad Mahrez.
I personally go Riyad. But what do I think Pep will do? I think Pep plays Bernardo. Bernardo got a full rest of the weekend. I think Pep puts Bernardo in.
I don't know about. I don't know if that's definitely how he's. I don't know if that's definitely how he's thinking.
I just think that's how he's thinking.
I can see that. I can see what Jordan's saying, and it would be very Pep. But you also flip it on his head and say, well, he played Mahrez in the weekend and he played very well, and he'll say maybe he played Mahrez to get the match sharpness, the match fitness up, and
yeah, before the match, yeah,
you know. So it's a tough one. I think I lean towards Mahrez, but I'd be equally happy if he played Phil Foden. I don't want Bernardo Silva, as sad as it is to say.
Yeah, I mean, Dave said, "Why change your winning team? I mean, we didn't win. We drew 1-0, innit? You know what I mean, this is the point. We need to be, and we didn't create nothing. You know what I mean? We didn't create nothing. So for me personally, I think stick Riyad in because we're all kind of going Riyad. Hughes kind of on the fence between him and Foden, but aiming more for Mahrez now as well. And the chat's gone 57% Riyad Mahrez, 23% Bernardo Silva, 17% Phil Foden, and 3% Julian Alvarez. Not many shouts there for Julian Alvarez. Why is no one picking Foden, says Hariko? Probably, I would guess it's probably just due to match fitness, match sharpness. You know what I mean? Phil Foden had his appendix. Let me tell you something. If Phil Foden was still playing in the form that he was before he had his appendix out, I'd be picking him over Mahrez. I'm going purely off of match sharpness. And, you know, I think we have Mahrez is cooking right now. I think when he's playing, he's been great. He played really well against Everton, I thought. So, yeah, I go real. And he turns up, he turns up in these big occasions. You know, he's done it before in the Champions League. And I just think set him free against their left back, whether it's going to be Camavinga, whether it's going to be Ferland Mendy, I don't know who it's going to be. let him free, man. Let the guy free. So I'm going Riyadh. Yeah. So stick Riyadh in, bro.
Yeah, Riyadh is the done it.
Well, you saw how effective Camavinga was going forward last week. Like he's really good on the ball and he was linking things up. Like he's a top player. I just think if we offer more on the attacking side of things on that side of the pitch, which Bernardo wasn't doing, Camavinga he'll be more hesitant to start pushing forward and trying to link things up. He won't feel as comfortable going forward. So you have to take that into account.
Yeah, no, I agree. Big up Elvis for the 5 months says, what do you think about VAR being released? Unless they release them all, I really don't care because it's propaganda, bro.
Yeah,
propaganda.
They can pick and choose the ones that make it look good.
Yeah,
the ones that make it look bad, and I'm sure you'll see them ones exactly like that one.
If they come out and they say we're going to release every single VAR into conversation, every single match, every single VAR conversation, boom, I'll rate it. But they won't do that, so I don't care. Because and the reason I don't care is because they, like John said, they will just pick and choose what they give us. Mm-hmm. I mean, there'll be some horror shows, and they won't release them. So
they show that what they want you to see.
Yeah,
they don't want you to see VAR fucking up, so they're not going to show you the ones where VAR fucks up.
What's happened here? What sparked this conspiracy about VAR?
No. Yesterday, before on Monday Night Football, they released like audio for quite a few games. Like they released the audio between the referee and the VAR assistant and stuff like that. So you could
this
hear
morning
them
as well on the radio.
Oh, did they? So you can hear them speaking to each other about like the decision and how the process goes. I think to give like fans an insight of how it is. But they're just picking and choosing matches. They're not giving us everything.
Okay.
So it's like because it's bad for VAR if they start showing us all shit VAR decisions because then that's you're showcasing it being a bad product to the game.
Mm-hmm. No, what they need to do there is they need to get like an independent party to come in and say, right, we're going to pick out 10 games of our choice and we want to hear the audios from these games.
Just release them all.
Release them all.
What's the problem, man? Why can't they just release them all? Are they that bad?
Yes.
Are they that bad?
They must be.
Well then they've got their own problems.
Who's that Donny who got sacked, remember? After he didn't draw the line on. He got sacked, didn't he? I want to see that one.
At the end of the day, it's not difficult, really. You know what I mean? We all know football. You know what I mean? A ball hits a hand. Is it handball? Is it not? Have a chat with him. Look, mate, I think it's handball. Go and have a look at the monitor. He looks at it and goes, I don't think it's handball. Or yes, it is. Boom. Release the conversation. Happy days. That's all we want. I mean, it's not rocket science, man. But like it's almost like they've got shit to hide because they won't release it all to us.
I don't know why they can't do what they do in rugby, where they have in rugby that you hear the TMO, who is the VAR, speaking direct to the referee. It's part of the production, it's part of the coverage. You can hear the conversation and why the TMO is explaining why he believes this is what this is. We don't hear any communication between VAR and Stockley Park, or wherever it is, and the referee. We just hear, this is the decision, it's been translated over to the referee, and this is what you're getting now. You don't know why, but this is what it is. We should hear, as part of TV, this is the decision being made, and this is why.
Too much swearing.
Well, the referee can walk away. He tells players to go away. I'm going over to speak to VAR. You go away, and I'll come back and tell you my decision. But the people watching on TV can hear exactly what's being said.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't mind them doing it after the game and bleep out the swearing. You know, I mean that's equally fine as well. But I do think we need to be hearing the conversations. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah. MLK says, Hamad says, Mahrez is very clinical. We need him to start. I agree, and so does majority of the chat, bro. And MLK says, after this, Foden should play every game this season. I don't disagree with that. I'm game for that, bro. I'm game for that, MLK. But yeah, that's the team that we've gone for. Strong team. I'm buzzing with it. Great. And I think that team can do bits. Like I say, we do have to transition better. We have to, when we get the ball in our midfield and wingers, we have to be better than we were at the Bernabeu. But I'm sure we will. I'm sure being at home, there'll be a little bit more, not less pressure, but like a little bit more confidence. You're at home rather than at the Bernabeu. So maybe you can just put your shoulders back and just go at the players, isn't it?
Yeah, I back the team that's here. I back the team that's here, and I think. It sounds like I think if we play the team, I think we win the game. I back it. I'm confident with the City side, man. I'm confident with the City side. I just hope we can create chances. That's my only thing. I hope we can create. I feel like that's a revolving comment from me. But I think that's where issues can be had with us. But like I said before, I expect this game to be a lot more open, and I think that'll create a lot of joy for players like Jack Grealish and Riyad Mahrez, who then could create space and chances for Erling Haaland.
Yeah. Big up Urban for the 2 says, let's hear the Rashford offside in the derby.
Exactly.
That'd be mega to listen to.
That. They ain't going to show us that, but that's one that should show us.
Yeah, that would be a mega one. Big up Ali B as well with a 31 mum says, yes, boys, tomorrow it's big. We have to win it for me. If we win it tomorrow, then Champions League is done. See you tomorrow, Hugh, if you're going.
Hugh is going.
Ali B.
Yeah, he's going.
I'm going.
Keep an eye out for the boy.
Anybody who's going and you see me, come up and say hello.
When you walk up to it and do this, he'll know. He'll know. He'll sit extra in it.
I'll get some of if you see me and you come before the game, come up and say hello, and I'll get some of you in the blog and get your score predictions and all that.
Yeah. Right, that.
Yeah, man. Right, cool. Prediction time, boys.
Hey,
I got last in it. I want to go last.
I'll go first. I think we win 2-0. I think we score first. It opens up, and then we score again. Win 2-0.
Hugh.
I think we win 2-1. I think they score, but we score 2.
Right, that.
I'm with Pardy, man. I'm going 2-0.
You think they ain't scoring?
I think we can keep that out.
I think if we score, yeah, I think they've got to go for it, and the space that's going to leave him behind for our players. I mean,
if you think about it, Hugh, the only reason they scored at the Bernabeu was a screamer.
I know. I just find the idea of holding Real Madrid to 1 goal across 2 legs absolutely mad. I can see it.
Yeah,
I back it. I mean, I wouldn't say you're crazy for suggesting 2-0, but I think they have 1 in them. I do. I just can't see Vinicius or Benzema not putting 1 to bed.
Yeah.
Derek's gone wild, man. He's gone Man City 6, Real Madrid 3.
No, I don't see there being goals, man. I don't think it'll. I don't. Who was it before you said it'd be an open game? I don't think it will be an open game. I think it'll be very tight. You think it'll be open?
I think it'll open up a lot more than what the Bernabeu game did, because someone has to win.
I think it'll open up if someone scores.
Yeah,
I think
there'll be more spaces. I think someone will score. So, do you know what I mean? So
I think they'll do what they're very good at. And that's soak up pressure and get this game to the stage where it gets very tense, very stressed, and that's when they'll try to pounce properly. We know Real Madrid have no problem for most games in just taking pressure and soaking it up and dealing with it. I think that's what they'll set out to do. They won't come out all guns blazing early doors.
Yeah, that's fair. Big up Ken, man, says 3-1 Mahrez was a threat and he deserves this start. I agree. Yeah, it's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be a crazy one. Real Madrid semi-final tomorrow. Can we get our revenge from last year, or will we get knocked out, man?
Can I say, right, this conversation, I'm like at an 8 now. Like I was at a 7 before, or whatever it was. I'm like at an 8 or an 8.5. I've got that like sinking feeling in my chest just because we're talking about it.
Yeah. Big up Pie, man, with a 2 says 2-1 City victory.
Right,
I think some of that.
Right,
I think some of that. Before we go, actually, give us your starting 5 penalty takers.
Oh, that's a great conversation. Haaland.
In order.
In order.
Yeah, in order. Yeah.
Haaland,
5, yeah.
KDB, Mahrez, Gundo, Edison. If not Edison, I'd throw. I'd never touch Rodri. Maybe Grealish or something like that.
I go Haaland. I go Mahrez above Kevin De Bruyne. Ilkay Gundogan. And then, oh man, that's tricky. Who do I have?
See, one says Rodri 100% conversion rate. Yeah, but that penalty that he took was shit against Spurs. Was it Spurs?
I had that exact list you have, LB, but I put John Stones last.
Stones, yeah. You know what? That 5th penalty take is weak, man.
It's great, isn't it?
What's
Edison.
Grealish's record?
I just think John Stones is such a cool head. I think he's just such a cool head in the shoulders, and he's technically good. So he's the only name.
Edison is good at penalties. He's genuinely good at penalties, though, isn't it?
You really want this? You really?
Hey, yo, Jack Grealish has got a 100% penalty record. You know?
How many is he taken?
How many is he taken?
1.
Oh,
whoa! What a penalty!
What a boy!
Dr. AOD in the chat here says, a Madrid fan here, but what's the obsession with trying to start Mahrez? He says he thinks you guys have a well-balanced team for your big game, so why should Pep change that? Mahrez doesn't track back, and that's something that you got on quite a few times, you, that, isn't it? Like, you do get more backtracking from players like Bernardo Silva and Foden.
Look how that went
Well,
for their
I
goal.
say this all the time, and
Yeah,
I
exactly.
get told, like, there's a guy in the chat saying Hugh doesn't know ball because I said Mahrez doesn't offer you that defensive work rate that Bernardo and Foden to a lesser extent will. It's just fact. Mahrez doesn't do. It's not part of his mental workup. He doesn't like to defend. He doesn't like to track back. He won't make those gritty runs that you see Jack Grealish making. Whereas Bernardo does do that. What he won't offer you going forward, he will offer you that going back. It's just fact. But Mahrez is so lethal going forward that you still want to play him.
There's a good message in the chat here from Lauren, and she calls us all a minge and says why we're not mentioning Alvarez.
Well, I mean, I did. I mentioned him before. Put him in the poll.
No. I mean, on the penalty conversation.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm just going for my starting five as if he's not on the pitch. But
if we're going to pens, I think he would be on the pitch.
If he's on the pitch, then he can take the 5th pen.
I think he'd be on the pitch. So I reckon he should take a pen.
I just want one of the more experienced players. I don't know why. I just wouldn't feel comfortable giving it to Julian Alvarez. I want someone like Stone.
To be honest, I won't feel comfortable with anyone taking the pen. I don't lie. It's penalties. I ain't going to be comfortable at all, especially with our record with pens.
Yeah,
knowing our look, Haaland will go to take it first. Like, I'm taking first pen. Then Gundogan will be like, no, I'm taking first pen. You know what I mean? It'll be an absolute shit show, and they'll freak out.
Yeah, Mohammed with a 2 says if it goes to penalties, we're finished. I don't know, man. I think that first. I don't know. Obviously, all 4 of them are unlikely to be on the pitch. But imagine you had Haaland, Mahrez, KDB, and Gundogan, your first 4 penalty takers.
Didn't Gundogan just missed one last week though? So you don't know where he's at with penalties in his head.
Yeah, and he's due a goal, isn't it?
I think Alvarez.
He's due a penalty goal.
I think Alvarez takes that 5th.
Yeah, if he's on the pitch, he'll take it. He'll take it.
If we go to pens, if we go to pens, he has to be on the pitch. I don't see why he wouldn't be on the pitch if it's going to pens.
Yeah, we are, because I could quite easily see him not on the pitch if he goes to pens. Because
why though? Why wouldn't you put him on?
Well, you're not going to take Haaland off, is he?
I don't agree with doing that thing, Joe, and people change it and then not had a kick of the ball. Like, don't be doing that. Don't be doing that, Pep, innit?
Calvin Phillips, after his 3-minute stint, and we can see the goal to go to penalties. He has to take it.
Yeah, he's doing his 30-second stint, as always. We can see the goal goes to pens, and then Calvin Phillips has to take one.
Imagine Calvin Phillips has to play 3 minutes. He doesn't touch the ball and scores the winning penalty to send us to the final.
Oh, God.
He's a legend.
That shirt that you've got, rocket in value, lad.
Oh, yeah.
On eBay.
Calvin coin to the moon.
On eBay.
Real.
PI says Arsenal forgot to fry the smaller fish. Now they don't have the FA Cup fish, Carabao Cup fish, and now bigger Premier League fried fish. And now all they have now is bottles to drink. Oh,
Bottles are prime, innit?
Bars.
Bottles are prime, man. Bottles are prime. And Ryan says, game will be done in 90 minutes, lads. Don't worry. 3-1 City win.
Right that. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I did not come for a shootout, innit? Like, I ain't what I'm in for.
Tomorrow's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be such a crazy game. I love it. You know, because even the first game, like, it was only 1-1, but it was a sick game to watch. Like, the quality on show was incredible. Like, the tactical battle was insane. I think tomorrow you're going to get more of the same. Maybe a slight tweak from Ancelotti with his tactics and formation. Don't think you'll see much change from Pep Guardiola other than maybe 1 or 2 players max. And yeah, it's going to be mad, man. It's going to be crazy. Looking forward to it. Guys, we are doing a watch along, man. It's going to get started in around 10-15 minutes. So this stream will automatically redirect you. So get redirected, smash a like, and then just wait for the stream to start. Big game tonight. Milan versus Inter Milan. It's going to be a crazy game, man. Who will Real Madrid or Manchester City play in the final? Obviously, it's currently 2-0 to Inter Milan. AC Milan have to respond tonight. They lost at the weekend again. They have to respond. I'm looking for a response. So it's going to be a sick game.
Is Leao back?
We'll be watching that. I don't think so. I think he's still injured.
That's a shame.
But yeah, we're going to be watching that, man. So come and join us. It's going to be a sick watch along. Big up to everyone in the stream. Smash a like on it. Subscribe to the channel as well if you're new. We'll see you in the next one, man. See you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
In a bit.